Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys.
Throwing on first is Wentz.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Off-play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On 2nd down, Elliott. Shifts by him at the 25. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Third and long for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. The give is to Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. A give to Elliott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Prescott now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Here's Prescott. Stepping up, and he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Especially when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Now the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. They run with Ajayi. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. This is Ajayi. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On the carry, here's Clement. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. It's complete left side to Aguilar. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Ajayi. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long.
Straight 15, straight 15.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They start on the ground with Elliott. Shreds the tackle. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Cowboys on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Prescott. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. They run. This is Scarborough. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Right back to it on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Kill. Sweat and A. Here we go, 47. 26.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. The Cowboys on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I bet you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Prescott from the gun. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. A 1st down carry by Elliott. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great. But you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big 3rd down.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for the moment, this will be a 1st down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules. You can extend them out, but sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Cowboys have recovered. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out of practice. watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Wins to throw on 2nd down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Sunday. I'm bringing it to you.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And now here come the Cowboys. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. For that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. 23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. He's going to fire one deep. It's caught inside the 25. Well, he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 49 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Wentz to throw again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now Wentz again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Cameron Meredith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Elliott good with a PAT. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Fights off the defender. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second down, Prescott. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Prescott now from the 50. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. Prescott now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott on the left side. Gallup's got it. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Go to 54. Go to 54. Right. Get out.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, that's Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run again with a giant. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Wentz going to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They run for it with a giant. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. One final try now for Wentz. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Cowboys, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.